Dr. Liz here. Ha! Hi guys, it's Dr. Liz here. We're gonna have a fun time today, aren't we now? You probably will hear old Katie did in the background barking. She has a little vibrating anti-bark collar, and batteries died. And so I gave her some treats, and she decided, hey, yeah, I am going to start competing with me. Mwah. She wants her own Facebook or her own Facebook page, I think, or Instagram or whatever. She's got celebrity in it. So anyway, I am so glad you're here today. I was going to talk about a little bit more. I had some comments and some things from folks last time, and please feel free, please feel free to drop your comments in there, and I will try to answer them now or after. But I had some people say, like, okay, why do we keep fighting? Why do we keep fighting? I don't like it, they don't like it, but we seem to be in this endless loop. All right, endless loop, and it just feels like it's a different day, uh, similar fight, maybe over something different, but we're still having that same loop. So I'm here, I get it. And I think, as we talked about before, that couples, statistically speaking, 69% of the things we are not going to agree on, and we're going to just call those perpetual conflicts. And so we've got to learn, how do we manage them? How do we work around them? How do we play on our strengths? All right. And part of that, the strength comes from you guys. And I am going to talk about what part you play in this and how you can start to change up that conflict. But in order to know what to do, because it's simple yet it's complex, I want you to, we don't know, but I want you to understand the parts of a conflict and the parts of the cycle. It's something I've studied and worked on professionally for over 34 years, 35 years actually, as a licensed marriage family therapist and a life transitions and relationship coach. So I want you to know what I know, and be able to catch it faster in the moment. Okay. So really, when we're talking about a conflict between a couple or between anything, a relationship at work, a conflict with a kid, an adult kid, a coworker, a family friend, a neighbor, there are three parts of that. There's a part where we're getting along, okay, the harmony part, and everything's good, and we're so happy to have that other person in our world. And then there's the disharmony, the disconnect, the conflict, the explosion. You can call it whatever it is, but it certainly isn't, as I call, what's it, unicorns and rainbows there? Mm-mm. And then there's the repair part. Hopefully there's a repair part, because successful couples, successful people know that when we've gotten along, we've had a blow up, we need to repair and we need to talk about it. No more sweeping it under the rug, even though it may feel like we need to do that. Now, take in mind that repair, just in this cycle, that repair does not need to be immediate, and quite often can't be immediate, because we're still locked in that disagreement, that conflict, that disharmony part. So it's okay if people aren't feeling like, kiss and make up at that moment. In fact, it's probably not going to be possible for many people. You don't take that, as an insult to you or an injury to you if you possibly can, or if you're the person that takes time to cool down before you can, repair or talk about it. That's all right. We just need to educate the other person that you're having fun. Okay, so we've got the three things. We've got the harmony, we've got the disharmony, or the conflict, the fight, and we've got the repair. Underlying this fight cycle are potentially three things that are driving it. Underneath the fight cycle, there may be a push for power or control. There may be a push for closeness or caring. As ironic as it is, we will often fight and end up pushing somebody away when we're wanting to actually be close and feel cared for or care for them. And the third one is respect and recognition. So as I'm talking, and as you're thinking back to your potential previous conflicts whether it's in your marriage or relationship or in another significant relationship in your lifespan. Think about what was driving it. Was there a desire for power and control, or jockeying for who's going to be there? Was there this, closeness, caring, wanting to be cared for, wanting to care for that other person, or respect and recognition? Okay? Each person is different, and honestly, each fight can be based off of one of these three dynamics. If you come up with the fourth one, let me know. I want to add it to my repertoire. Now, how this gets played out really, really depends on some unique things. So as we bring two people together, we're coming preloaded with stuff. In our family of origin, in our, who and where we grew up with, we learn certain ways to fight or non-fight. We know who's going to side, and that signals us a dissatisfaction. We know who's like, oh, don't do that, because that's going to set them off. So we watch and we learn and we mimic and we mirror, because that's the only lesson that we have. Maybe as we get older and we experience other relationships, friendships, classmates, work environments, we add to that repertoire. Okay, so it does start with us as kids, what we saw, what we experienced. The other part is that there's the biology part of us. We are all wired different. We have morning people, like me. I like getting up in the morning. I'm a happy camper. We have the non-morning people that they don't talk to them until they've had, their coffee or whatever. We have the night owls, which I'm not. And so it would make sense that if something is as simple as sleep, some of us like to wake up and some of us like to go to bed early, some of us like to sleep in and, stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning, or 3 or 4, whatever. It makes sense that we have a different biology. And when I talk about that, it's how we ignite. And I'm going to talk about that, but in a nutshell, there are people that go off real fast, the gasoline, and there's others that pause, hold on to it, wait, it finally builds up, and they explode in their way, and they have many different ways as well. So there's the biology factor of that. And then there's just the two of you. If you come preloaded one way from family and your biology, and they come preloaded a different way, when guys come together, you are going to have your own unique style of conflict resolution, just like you're going to have your own unique stuff about how we get along and why we get along and what's so exciting about us. So, differences are good. It just sometimes makes it really hard to understand. Or if I'm a quiet person and the other person is like a raging, fast to go off, it can feel very intimidating, or like I don't know what's going wrong, or I can incorrectly, like you're being a bully, and but if I was one that would rise up fast too, maybe it wouldn't feel so different to me. Maybe it wouldn't feel so bad. It would just feel like, okay, we're in a fight. Game on, let's go. Okay, so yeah, that's Katie. Okay. So let's talk about those 3 times. So okay, you got the family of origin, how we were raised. We've got the biology factor, and we've got how the two of us mix. What kind of mix do we have? So there's 2 major styles. We'll call them 2 major styles. But I talked about the fire and ice, right? The fire part is the maximizers. We ignite quickly, fast, go up, fast. Okay. The ice people tend to hang on to it, and then it builds, and then we explode, or we shut down, and so we're ice, and we're not going to talk about it right now. We basically move away. The thing is, or the dynamic is, that a lot of times the fire people don't recognize is the more agitated we get, the more intense we get, the higher chance that other person is gonna numb out or freeze out. Okay, and they're moving away from you. And that can be really frustrating because I'm trying to get your attention. I'm trying to talk about this. This is important. You're not getting it. We can't do this anymore. And they're like, okay. The other part of it is if I'm that ice person that numbs and needs to chill or walk away from it, I don't realize it. The more I disconnect or appear to disconnect, right? But we'll call it numbing out. The more I freeze out, disconnect out, the more infuriated that other person can be. And we are really just like going in opposite directions and pushing ourselves away, pushing them away, and escalating a situation that maybe didn't have to get to that point. So again, here's a time, pause, think about what are you? The fire, the ice, what are the easiest types of people to fight with? Okay. What are the most confusing or frustrating types of people to have a conflict with? Okay, let's just start thinking about that. I need you to just step into your own fight cycle, the harmony, the disconnect, the disharmony, and the repair. Think about the three things we're looking at. Where we're looking for power control, where we're looking for closeness, caring, and we're looking for respect, recognition. And then when that started, are you the one that goes up, or are you the one that kind of moves out and moves away? So as much as we maybe unknowingly or not intentionally pushing things, the other person away, or escalating the fight, we do need to know that there are ways to interrupt it, right? And if you're the person that feels overwhelmed, flooded, as we talked about, that maybe the ice person that needs to move away and leave the situation, we have every single right, and I have every single expectation that relationships need to respect and tolerate that the time for the timeout. We talked about last time, like doing some timeouts or having the code words. And so the key here is in your dynamics, we want to be able to say that, yes, if you need the time out to go relax or decompress, we got to be able to let you do that, but you do owe the repair part of your relationship. Both of you owe each other that. And you need to come back in when you're in a better place. So if you're one of the fire people and you think, wait, I need to stop. What I'm saying here is not kind. I need to take a break. Great, go do that. And then come on back and ask, are we ready? Can we talk about this? If you're the ice person, the one that's numbed out and is holding on to it and has a whole bunch of stuff to tell them, boy, when you just get a chance. You too can say, hey, this is not going anywhere. I want to talk about this constructively. So give me a break. I need to walk away right now. And you too, no more sweeping under the rug, okay? You too need to come back and talk about what was going on in your head and what you feel really needs to happen. Okay? Yeah. I see criticism in a relationship as that there's something else going on underneath. All right? And we're going to talk about that because that is one of the common accelerants to that disharmony part. So I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, all right, let's see. Let's see. Mike got up and we're watching television. He gets up and he goes, makes himself full ice cream. All right? Makes himself full ice cream and comes back. I'm like, why are you eating ice cream? Why are you eating ice cream? You know, I thought we were going to bed. I think, where the tone and things like that. What I might really be doing, and that I'm not doing, is that I might not have exercised asking for my needs. Okay, and we go back to the fight cycle. We talk about care and consideration. I mean, closeness and caring. And we talked about respect and recognition. Maybe that's one of those. Or power and control. I'm the diet police, and you're not supposed to be eating your ice cream at 10 o'clock at night. Plus, you take a big bowl. Big bowl. My taste. Got a big bowl. Right? So, one of those things might be driving. So, I said, why are you eating ice cream right now? It's already 10 o'clock. I'm going to bed. That can start a fight. What I might want to say is, if I'm going into the power control, I'm confused. I thought we were going to be trying to, get healthy and stuff like that, and you're eating ice cream at 10 o'clock at night. And I'm supposed to, help you lose weight. That's a bad one. If it's more of the closeness and caring, I'm like, honey, I would have liked some ice cream, It would have been nice if you brought me one. Okay. And they go, why? Well, because you're thinking about me. You love me. You want me to have some ice cream too. Now, on the flip side, he might be thinking, I'm not going to sabotage Liz's diet or health changes, and I'm not going to offer her ice cream. If she wants some ice cream, she needs to get it herself, because then she'd be breaking her own diet thing. That's maybe what he's working on. But in that moment, I might be feeling like he doesn't care about me. Okay? And it would be a nice little gift he brought me. A little bit. Just a little. Or it could be, recognition and respect. That the majority of the time, if I leave to go do something, get something, I may ask him, hey, I'm going to go get this. Do you want that? Or I may just spontaneously bring it in. So I may be wanting him to show me that same kind of respect and consideration by just saying, hey, I made you a bowl. Or, hey, I'm in the kitchen. Do you want some ice cream? And then that gives me a chance to say, oh, how sweet. But no, I'm trying to be good. But thank you. Okay, move on. So behind every criticism, there is some kind of a need. And we need to be able to identify it. That's where we're owning this stuff, guys. This is your part of the interrupting. We need to own this and figure out, what did I want? What did I need? Because what happens is, if I have a criticism, like, oh, why are you eating ice cream right now? Even if I don't speak it, okay. I'm unhappy because I haven't expressed my need, and he doesn't know what I want, and he's not going to meet it. So then what happens? I start keeping score. I start looking for, in the confirmation bias, okay? I am looking for confirmation that he is insensitive, okay? Insensitive and selfish. Yep. And I'll be doggone sure I can start doing it. Now, this confirmation bias thing, by the way, is a perfect filter. We don't see anything that says he's considerate, he's kind, he's reaching out to me. We only latch on to the stuff that proves my hypothesis that he's insensitive and he's selfish. So I might oh, yeah, okay, I remember the other day, he went out the front door ahead of me, and he didn't even let me know that he was going, and so I'm in here waiting for him, and he's already out there. See, he's insensitive, he's not very kind. Or I might remember, I could have used, fill in the blank, but I start looking around, I start gathering evidence, and start stacking them all up, I think Esther Pearl says they put them in she calls them the dirty sink thing, where everything's a cup or a bowl or whatever, you're throwing all this stuff in there. And that's what I start doing. I call it the Velcro. I start collecting all this stuff. And so all I can see is him with all this hurt and anger and everything, boom, out there. All right. So we talk. So as we're doing this, as we're collecting evidence, our filters are impacting our mood as well. Right? And so we are only seeing and only receiving information that confirms that Mike is insensitive and inconsiderate. Now let's say that the very next day I pop out, I run up grab, I don't know, grab myself some more ice water and roar back in because I'm going back into session. Now, the funny thing about that is we have something else that plays. We have this little protection. It puts us in this nice little bubble, okay? So I'm out there gathering evidence that he's a jerk. he's insensitive. But I've got myself in a nice bubble, and that bubble is called fundamental attribution error. And what it is if he were to stop me mid run with my water, I say, oh, I would have, but I'm in a hurry because I've got to go into session, you know. So it's situational. There's a good reason why I didn't think to offer you the water. But if he ran out and got the water and then rushed past me and like, you know, I'm thirsty, you know, I would put it back onto his character that he's oh, we're talking insensitive. It's hard because he's not insensitive, so I have to remember he's not insensitive and he's not inconsiderate. He's a really sweet guy, so it's sometimes hard to tag that onto someone that isn't that way. But lucky for me, it's not easy to tag that onto him, right? Yeah. So the fundamental attributional error, just think about the error, is that for us, there's an excuse, there's a reason, and for them, it's part of their core. And it reconfirms what I thought about earlier, the other night, last week, when he got the ice cream and he didn't think about me. Okay? Yeah? It's important if you're starting to collect these scorekeeping, to letting them pile up. It's important to start being aware of that and starting to, again, it's one back on us. What am I collecting? What am I feeling about my spouse, friend, whatever? What evidence am I collecting? That's where we've got to be more insightful, guys. This is where we own our part of this dynamic of this fight cycle. And then what we do is we're going to be looking at where are we in this conflict. And not all conflicts are bad. Okay, not all conflicts are bad, and we need to have good ones. And right now, I'm trying to tell you how to interrupt a negative conflict cycle. But I want you to hear that disagreeing and having difference in opinion is healthy and important to a relationship. It is healthy and important to have differing opinions. That does keep us spicy. It does keep it exciting. We certainly don't want to have a clone of ourselves, or maybe people do have a mini-me of ourselves. So this is part of the negative conflict cycle. Is there? It typically is an attack or a blame, and then there's the defending that's going on. And I think we talked about that in some of the other ones. And so my attack would have been like, "Why are you eating ice cream?" Well, I thought you want this. I thought they were that. So we want to see what is happening in your fight. Are you the one that attacks? Do you blame them? Do you defend and become the victim? Like, you're always mean to me. You always raise your voice. You always do this to me. Okay, we want to see where we are in that cycle because that's going to help us. It'll help me. Help you unravel and figure this out. Now okay, I always keep putting stuff out, but here's a funny thing, not so funny, haha. But when we are in that fight cycle, the negative fight cycle, someone's attacking, someone's blaming, someone might be defending themselves or getting defensive, and we're into that fire and ice kind of thing, is during that we are so elevated that you maybe have, 10 seconds or so in your defense or in your conversation before the other person is tuned out. They're already listening, and they're listening, but they're not listening, and they're already working on their rebuttal or their defense. So you may have, what do they say, like a attention span of a goldfish type of thing. It's like 15 seconds, I think. But you may have 2 or 3 sentences, really short sentences, to get your point across. And so when we are elevated like that, talking more doesn't help because they're not listening. You're getting frustrated. you're maybe getting defensive, or you're getting the attack point. They're not hearing you, and they're not here, and then they're having a similar experience. Like, she's not getting it. She's not getting it, and they keep coming back at it. So understand there is a reason why we want to take a time out. If you think that I have 10 seconds, I don't, can't even do a commercial break. Maybe if an auctioneer. Auctioneers may fight differently because they can put a whole lot of words into just a very few seconds. But for the average bear here, if you've got 10 seconds of valuable information before they clock out and they're working on their defense, it's probably not a really productive moment. Again, that's what I want you to realize. Because your goal, I would think, is not to be the auctioneer and put as many words into it. Your goal is to hear them, to have them hear you, maybe agree to disagree, maybe figure out how and what happened. But if they're not able and you're not able, because we're flooded, we need to learn effective ways to step out. Okay? Step out. And I think one of the things is that when we are getting elevated, when they're getting elevated, is that our tone and the way we say things. Because even like here on a plane, I can throw some snarky stuff out there. But the tone, where they're like, oh, God, not again. Come on, can't you just get it right this time? If I came out with ice cream, like, really, Mike? Really? Ice cream? 10 o'clock? Why are you having ice cream at 10 o'clock? It's judgy, it's snarky, it's frustrating. Or maybe let's flip it around. And let's say I came for my question was like spontaneous, not well thought out. I said, Mike, you're having ice cream at 10? And then he like, yes, Liz, I can figure out what time it is. I'm a big boy. Okay? I wanted ice cream. You got a problem with it? Okay. Tone can do a lot. Frustration can do a lot. We're in the moment. My key there, okay, let's say if it's him telling me, yes, Liz, I'm an adult. I'm having ice cream. See, look, pistachio, bluebell, is not to buy into that. My goal is not to trigger. Remember, underneath the fight, underneath the conflict things, there's some dynamics that are going on, right? Maybe I started it with the way that I asked the question. Maybe I could have done a better job about saying, honey, it's 10 o'clock at night. I thought you were going to stop eating after 7 so that we could both lose weight, right? Or it could have been, sweetie, I would have liked some ice cream. Is there any more left? Would you mind getting me some? And he could have said, oh, geez, yeah, there's plenty. I just didn't think you wanted it because, you were watching, your weight and stuff, right? The key is not to react, not to respond, not to trigger, right? And in that moment, I may not be, when he's telling me, yes, Liz, I'm a big boy, I can have ice cream. The key may be, if I tell him like, geez, Mike, don't talk to me that way, that really offends me. At that moment, I may kick it off to another level. So I may need to sit back a moment, breathe, let him breathe, and then ask a question. All right, honey, I was just asking about your diet plan, or I was, just thinking, gee, it was awful late. I thought we were going to go to bed together. And I don't know if you realize it, but that wasn't a really nice way to talk to me, putting me down and tapping me back. And that would give him time to maybe have de-escalated, talk about it, okay? So, I know we've covered quite a bit. I'll go quick recap before we do that. Before I go on more about your part. But we've got the harmony, the disharmony, and the repair. And this is the part we're going to be focusing on. It starts with you. The repair starts with you. Think about, are we fighting for power and control? Are we doing closeness? Did I want closeness? Did I want caring for me in that ice cream situation? Did I want respect and recognition? Um, you know, what was driving me? And where am I in my keeping score? Have I been on my search and document just to confirm that Mike is insensitive and inconsiderate? Or was this just a one-off? So when I talk about it starts with me. It really, really does. Because I know that I personally have a different bandwidth, different points of time, different times at night, during the day, of what I can tolerate or how I'm going to respond better, respond more appropriately. So it starts with me. I need to know in that moment, what are my emotions? What am I feeling? What's my energy level? So at 10 o'clock at night, that's the least best time I ever want to get into a fight because I'm tired. I know I'm not thinking well. I know that I don't coming with the same energy or open-mindedness. Right? So time and my emotions and my physical stuff. And what is my mindset at that moment? Am I thinking clearly? Am I being, kind and warm and zen? Am I thinking, great. I thought we were going to go to bed together. I thought that we were going to shut down the house or we go to sleep, or I've got a long day tomorrow. What are other people going to, is he going to disrupt other people in the house because of that? I have to look at what is going on through my head and what I am telling myself, because what I'm telling myself is not going to be the same thing what Mike's going to be telling himself. He's coming in, so my thoughts are like, oh, there he goes again, eating, not thinking about me. Typical figures. That's going to fuel, that's my own personal gasoline I am putting on in a fire in my head. And I am not helping myself take responsibility. I am not helping myself respond appropriately to the conflict. That doesn't even need to go past the bowl of ice cream. It's very easy to repair. Okay, and so part of strong self-esteem, or people with good self-esteem, is that we take accountability without shame. So if I, to me, that's one of the goals. Is I need to having good self-esteem is I need to be accountable for making mistakes, and that's part of the repair. So if I can catch myself and go back and do my own forensic before I do the repair with Mike, you know what, it's 10 o'clock at night, you were thinking you guys were going to bed, you're tired, you've had a long day, the dog's been barking, you're feeling a little frustrated because you too would like ice cream, but you've had too much ice cream in your past, and so you're trying to correct that flaw. So if I can take into that consideration my mindset, my emotions, my thoughts, then I can step back and go, Liz, coming at him like that with it, why is he having the ice cream and he's not very nice or kind of that, it's not effective. And now we have Pippin joining, so that's good too. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to learn and understand that saying you're sorry or saying the repair does not need to be filled with shame. It does not need to be like you're a bad person. It means you're human. We all make mistakes. I think that's one of the absolute thing. We all make mistakes, all right? But by taking accountability, we're taking responsibility. We're not a bad person. We're just owning it that, you know what? I didn't need to ask you about your ice cream. I could have just kept that to myself. Or if I wanted a bowl, I could have asked you, or I could have got up and got my own bowl of ice cream. All right? Maybe the next thing, I could have said, I'm confused. Or what do we need to do? Should we have ice cream in the house? I know that you're having it at night, and you told me before that you wanted to, lose weight. Okay. So step back. Here's some of the tips here for taking part that repair part. We got the harmony part before. We certainly got that disconnect and the disharmony going just fine. So we want to do the repair. And as I said, the repair starts with you. You know, you can share this video. You can talk to them about what you've learned, but we can't go shoving it. It's your turn. You got to say you're sorry too. Okay, it doesn't come over here. But the repair starts with taking time out, stepping away, getting more self-aware. All right. It involves communicating first with yourself. Okay, we need to get in our head and figure out what was driving it, what happened, what part did we play from our perspective. Because they're certainly going to have another opinion. They're certainly going to have some ideas of what's going on. We want to cut them some slack. Okay? We have been doing a darn good job through the time of our relationship, probably collecting historical data that we can certainly insert to support our hypothesis that Mike is insensitive and inconsiderate. Right? You gotta cut him some slack. Maybe he didn't think. Maybe he was preoccupied. Maybe he had something on his mind. Maybe he was just hungry. Maybe he was doing me a favor. Right? We need to have people in our lives that can cut us some slack, give us a break, not make it part of our character, but make it one of just our oopses. Right? And then consider what is really going on. What need did I have? What dynamic might be happening outside of the bowl of ice cream? Maybe there are other things in my interactions with Mike that have me feeling not very close, not very connected, that he doesn't care about me. Maybe it was driven by earlier that day. He's been on the phone with his friend. He's been texting people. He's got some meetings, and I'm like, I'm here. I'm lonely. I'm bored. I want you to care about me. All right? So we need to consider what might be going on for us within our relationship or our world that is setting us up for this kind of disconnect. And then get physical, guys. Yep. You can have sex if you want. But part of the repair is giving the hug, reaching out, touching them. Hey, I'm really sorry. Can we talk about this? That didn't go like I wanted to. Or I think, give me a hug or kiss. Maybe just rub their shoulder. Like, I'm really bummed the way last night turned out. Can we talk about that? I don't like leaving it this way. Or I realize you can keep feeling the way. But you get the idea. We want to connect. A 10-second hug is marvelous. Oh my gosh. Feels so great. Make it 20 seconds. Crank it up. Be the big spender. It can get really, really uncomfortable too, like holding that. How about a 10-second kiss? A 15-second kiss? How about hugging them and looking them in the eyes? Just look at them. You guys want the same thing. You can if you want, but they gotta be nice. Okay. And can you imagine hugging them or them hugging you, looking in your eyes and just saying, I'm sorry. Me too. I'm sorry. How healing. God, the tension just melts in couples when we do that. Alright? So, take some time out. Communicate with yourself. And when you take the time out, you do got to come back in. Well, it's got to be agreed with the couple. Communicate with yourself so that you can then communicate with them. Cut them some slack. Cut you some slack. Both things. Consider what's really going on. What is that ice cream really fighting about? Because I've had people fight about toilet paper rolls and which is the most efficient way and which way to make a bed or come through the door or leave your shoes on or off or all of it. And it's really usually not that thing. It's something else. So think in your heart of hearts, where are you feeling let down, neglected? Where are you feeling like it's a power struggle, control struggle? Oftentimes just by talking about that, that like I feel, you're trying to control me. I'm not trying to control you. Well, then why are you telling me how to buy ice cream? Okay, all right, I can see how that looks like that. Let me back it up, and I'm really sorry if I came across that way. I was concerned. I thought my job was to, kind of help you eat healthy. Okay, now let's come back to, okay, so we can easily, diffuse those kinds of things, but you've got to do the work. You need to do the work. They're not psychic, okay, and they got to do the work too. But it starts with you, and you can make a huge change in your relationship of any kind. And then it's getting physical. Now, if you're at work, please don't hug your and definitely don't kiss them. That'll be another set of problems. But friends, a hug, a handshake, a pat on the shoulder. If it's more the intimate relationship, most definitely. Hug, kiss, look at each other in the eye. Like, it really sucks. I don't like that. I don't either. Okay, let's try not to do it again. Okay, I'm sorry. And when we finish that, when the repair is good, we go right back into the harmony. I'm so lucky. I'm so happy. I'm so special. You're so special. Differences, folks. Differences in the way we fight. Differences in the way we come preloaded to relationships. Differences in our opinions. I like chocolate, or you like vanilla, whatever it might be. Those are good. Those are important. They're okay. I want to encourage you to have differences. What I also want to encourage you is to accept that there's going to be differences, and to create, kind of look at it. That's a strength, right? I see one way and they see the other way, and that's a strength, because that makes us a better couple, because we've covered all the angles, right? So let's celebrate the differences. Let's celebrate the things that they do that kind of get on our nerves, but we can fix them, we can repair them. Let's celebrate that we do have conflicts, but we also know how we can work on getting our part of it under control. Do the work that we need to do to bring that information back into the relationship to do repair. And maybe a repair isn't possible at that moment, so we take some more time and we revisit it, and we do some more deep dives. If you don't feel fluent in the moment of talking, write a letter, journal it out to them. Grab your phone and box her on the walkie-talkie, or do a voice recording and share it with them. Right? You don't have to get it right the first time, and it can be done in so many different ways to do it. Well, I hope this has been helpful, and I'm so happy you got to hear 2 out of the 5 dogs that are here today with us. Grandma Zoe's still down there, and she is being quiet, so we're batting 1,000, I guess. But please, join me inside my member vault. Take a peek at my member vault. I've got a ton of great resources, great programs that you can take away, work on your own. You can work with me, but you can work on your own as well. I am here. I will be. You have questions? My Happy Marriage, Happy Relationship Masterclass. You have questions? No bad. Email me. DM me. Message me. I'm here. I want to make sure you're successful. My goodness. Plus, I just love talking. I love talking with you. If there's some gaps and there's some distancing in your relationship, you're feeling like there's not that closeness, take a look at what they have to offer. If you ever feel like, I would love to have Liz in my back pocket, where I could just ask her a question. We work on a problem, and we go off, and I'm doing the homework called like, I would love to be able to just pick up and just say, hey, he just said this to me. He said, why am I being his mother? He can eat ice cream if he wants at 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Leave him alone. All right? I probably won't be up 3 o'clock in the morning. I can tell you that, because remember, I'm the early bird. But I'll definitely get back with you and say, hey, here's what's going on, I think. Here's some ways that you might be able to process it or come back. So check out my Dr. Elizabeth Boxer. But whatever you do, please keep showing up in the group. Share your wins. Share your struggles. Send me questions. Let me know how I can help, because I thoroughly enjoy my time with this. So take care. Bye-bye.